We're back with another episode of Love Is. I'm your host, Stacey Herrera, and today we're continuing our sexual season series. Last week, we talked about sexual summer, that time when desire burns hot and pleasure crashes like intense waves. Today, we're going to talk about autumn, which is one of my favorite seasons, sexually and otherwise. Sexual autumn is a season that doesn't get nearly enough celebration. Autumn brings a slower, deeper sensuality. So rather than instant arousal, pleasure builds and grows gradually. Touch is more meaningful, more intentional. You might need and want more time to warm up, but the satisfaction, it runs deep. Autumn sexuality is all about savoring, like letting chocolate melt on your tongue instead of wolfing it down. When I first noticed my own transition into sexual autumn, I had been in a long period of sexual summer, that quick electric response. And then I don't even know when it happened because I just noticed it suddenly, but I'm sure it wasn't sudden. Something had shifted, and it wasn't that I wanted less sex, it was that I wanted it differently. So, like, quickie encounters that used to leave me satisfied started to feel incomplete. I craved something slow, something that engaged not just my body, but my whole being, like my soul. The build was slower, but the peak, oh my God. The peak was it was just more satisfying, more profound. We've been conditioned to value summertime in general, not just summer sexuality, but we've been conditioned to value summer above all other seasons. We see it in the movies, sexually speaking, where people are just ripping each other's clothes off and just ready for action instantly with very little foreplay. And we hear how we talk about that as normal. But let me just make something clear. This idea that quick arousal equals healthy sexuality is bullshit. That's like saying that summer is the only real season and everything else is somehow less than, and that's just not true. Autumn sexuality has its own unique beauty. I mean, I should add that I'm a little bit partial to autumn because I was born in autumn also. So it's actually my favorite season in general. But in autumn, it's almost as like the mind and the body connection deepens. So foreplay isn't just this thing that happens right before sex. It's this ongoing conversation between bodies where pleasure builds in layers and each one is somehow richer than the last. When you're in a relationship, sexual autumn is sometimes the space where we reignite intimacy in surprising ways. See, when you need more time to warm up, you're forced to slow down, to pay attention, to be fully present with each other. It's not that quickies are not good or that they're underappreciated. They just happen less often in autumn. But the deeper encounters, they just bring a whole new level of oomph to the party, right? I once worked with a couple and they were both in their 50s. They had been together for many years. And one of them was struggling with the changes in their sexuality. We used to be spontaneous, and now it just takes so much time and effort. But instead of like creating a narrative that we needed to go back to what was, we reframed this as a natural evolution rather than a problem that needed to be fixed. And then, like magic, everything changed. They started to see these changes as an invitation to discover each other in new ways and not a loss of what they once had. And that's the gift of sexual autumn. It invites us to be more intentional, more invested in the journey rather than just rushing to the destination. So, how do you navigate sexual autumn with grace? I'm so glad you asked because I've got tips. First, you have to release your expectations around how quickly your body should respond. That summer sexuality timeline is not the standard. It is just one expression of arousal, but not all. And your body isn't broken if it takes longer to warm up. It's just inviting you into a deeper kind of pleasure. Second, I need you to expand your definition of what counts as sex. In autumn, the line between sensuality and sexuality gets a little bit muddy. So a foot massage could gradually awaken desire. A long, slow kiss might be more arousing than having your nipples twisted or your clitoris stroked. So I want you to follow your body's wisdom about what feels good right now and not what used to work or how it used to look different, and really kind of renegotiate your definition of what sex is and what it isn't. Third, I want you to create the conditions for desire to emerge. Just like summer sexuality, which again can often spark spontaneously, autumn sexuality often needs a little bit more cultivation. And that might mean setting aside dedicated time, creating an environment that engages all of your senses. Think sight, sound, taste, touch, everything. Or exploring fantasies or anticipation as a tool for awakening desire. Anticipation can be so hot. And if you're single or unpartnered, or you just don't have a regular person that you get down with, let's just say it that way, because there's nothing wrong with being single. But if you don't have a regular partner, sexual autumn can be a blessing in disguise because it naturally filters out partners who aren't willing to take their time to be present or to prioritize your pleasure alongside their own, right? It clarifies what you truly need in a sexual connection versus what you're willing to settle for. That's why autumn is so great. And if you happen to be in a relationship or have a sexual partner where there might be some desire discrepancies, so you're just not matching each other's energy right now, being in autumn is a great opportunity to find common ground, right? Because these situations, the higher desire partner wants more frequency, the lower desire partner might want more quality and connection. And autumn sexuality naturally bridges that gap because it emphasizes depth over frequency. Both people can get their needs met. And I really want to acknowledge that transitioning between seasons can be disorienting. If you have built your sexual identity around summer style responsiveness, so you're used to, spontaneous arousal, it can be jarring when your body starts responding differently. You might wonder, like, what's wrong with me? Am I losing my sexuality? Is my libido disappearing? And the answer to that, most often, not always, but most often, is a resounding no. You're not losing anything, but you are gaining access to a different kind of pleasure, one that might actually be more sustaining and nourishing in the long run, right? You just never know. And again, like I said in the last episode, you can move through sexual seasons multiple times during the day, but sometimes the season is by the hour. You just never know. But love is embracing every season of your sexuality with curiosity and care. It's allowing pleasure to evolve rather than trying to force your body to respond in ways that it just currently isn't receptive to. Next week, we are going to wrap up this series with sexual winter, that quiet season of rest and renewal. But until then, I would love, love, love to hear from you. Are you in sexual autumn? Have you experienced it? How has it changed your relationship with pleasure or not? You can send me an email or leave me a voice note. The links are in the show notes. Until next time, bask in whatever season you're in. I love you.